Okay, Tri-County All-Star Game practice Saturday, and I'm here with Jeff Hauser of Mannheim Central. Gosh, it turned out to be a pretty nice morning so far, dodging showers.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a little humid out, but it's pretty good so far. It's been nice getting back into it for a little bit.
Talk a little bit about what it's like. You're a Mannheim Central player, but talk about what it's like as a Mannheim Central player being able to play in the Tri-County All-Star Game. That's run by the Mannheim Touchdown Club.
It's an honor to be able to do this. I mean, we see a lot of stuff in our football program because we get a lot from the Manhunt Touchdown Club. We're very blessed to have as much as we have, and it's always, we can always tell because we might not have the best stuff, but we always have, and we can appreciate it because we've worked for it and we're get it donated or whatnot, and it always means a lot. And being able to play in this game means a lot.
Yeah, and there's such a tradition of football here. Talk about the football tradition here at Mannheim Central.
I mean, it's
You have a big smile on your face because from afar, it's one thing, but I'm sure being in it is completely different.
it's a lifestyle because when I was a lot younger, I didn't play football. I didn't play in the midget stuff, but my brother started playing. And he was a couple years older than me, and then as soon as he got into it, all the coaches came at me. Coach Hahn was hitting at me when I was real young, middle school. He's like, "You're gonna play? You're gonna play?" And I was like, "I don't know." And then seventh, eighth grade came around, and I said, "Sure, why not?" I hopped into it, and as soon as I got my foot wet, I fell all the way in. And that became my life until my senior year. It was every day, all day. That's what it was. I went to school, and I went to school to do good so I could play football. On the weekends, I went and did football. I got out of school, did football. Everything I did was for football, to be better at football so we could win and make this town happy, because this is a football town, this is a football school. That's what we do here.
Yeah, it's all about community, and the fabric of Mannheim is football, which is pretty incredible. It's not, quite honestly, there are a lot of communities like that, but I don't think that there's really anything like, from a guy who comes into Mannheim, and I parachute in for games or whatever like that, but the tradition and the fabric of what football is in Mannheim here is really something special, isn't it?
Yeah, it really takes a little bit to realize it, but when you're out on the street or in like the Ys around and someone walks up to you and says, "You play football," and then they recognize you, and it's like, "Oh, I don't know who that is, but I know that they live in Mannheim. They're huge fans.
Mm-hmm.
They always go to the games every Friday. They support us." And that's the biggest thing, is that we try to do what we can to help the community, because the community helps us so much. And if we
That's
can
a great
give,
way to put it.
we can get back.
Yeah.
And that's the best way, because we are one whole big family.
That's great. So talk a little bit about, obviously, this is your last technically high school game. What's next for you?
I will not be going to college to play football. I'm actually going to be working full-time. I'm currently working with K&K Unit Excavating.
Mm-hmm.
I work in that, doing laboring, a little bit of equipment operations. But no, I didn't. College wasn't really in my aspirations.
Yeah, not, and that's great to hear. Because so much, and that's great from a family perspective, that you weren't really pressured by your family or whatever like that. They've allowed you to kind of take your path. That I'm gonna take the admirable route of learning a trade and becoming part of that community that you were just part of, as a football player. And it's not for everybody. I mean, it wasn't, one of my daughters. I mean, I left that choice up to her, but it really isn't for everybody. Did you find that there was undue pressure maybe from people saying that, hey, you really need to go and play college football?
I mean, there was definitely a lot of my buddies, family, coaches, they all wanted me to play. Because, I mean, obviously I was good enough. I was all-state, all-star. I had the potential. I could go to college and play if I wanted to. But it wasn't coming down to the point where, like, oh, everybody wants me to go, I have to go. It came down to, do I want to go?
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't, I really didn't want to. I was really back and forth for a while, and just decided it wasn't for me.
Mm-hmm.
For what I wanted to do, I've always wanted to do blue-collar trade. That's always been me. That's how I was raised. That's my blood.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I've grown up with, going to college to play football, sorry,
That's all right.
it's not going to really get me where I want to go.
Uh-huh.
So I didn't really see that it was worth it. I couldn't really justify it. to go and play football for another 4 years, to go to school and not get what I needed to do for the rest of my life.
Sure, you just get the start, right off the bat. I mean, they say, I mean, it's just isn't any different than if you go to college. If you're striving to be a professional football player or whatever like that, your aspirations were just like you talked about in the building trade. So why wouldn't you start right at, get an early jump? I think that's very admirable, but I think that's the great thing about a community in football is that people give you the latitude to make the decisions that you want to, and that's really great. So listen, thank you very much. Appreciate you spending time. Best of luck here. So this is your final game.
Yes, it is.
Wow, how does that feel? Yeah, I mean, it's like, has it really hit yet?
No, hasn't hit me yet. Not really. I have a feeling it'll come, just not yet.
Yeah. Ever think about possibly getting into maybe doing some coaching after you get out?
I've thought about it. I think down the road, probably, definitely, I might.
That'll scratch that itch for you, huh?
I might come back here and see what I can do, but I don't think I'll be able to stay away from it forever. I think when I got kids, definitely going to play football.
Yeah.
Definitely stick around that. Maybe I'll coach. We'll see.
Yeah, well, it might be the genetics. I mean, what do you like? He says 6'3", 340.
Yeah.
You're all of that. I mean, but you're up for Lancaster Lebanon League Lineman of the Year, Jeff Hauser from Mannheim Central. Thanks for a little bit of time. It's very nice to meet you.
My pleasure.
All right, take care. We'll be back with more interviews as we go through the week.